Hi, Mani.
Hello, hi, good morning.
Hi. How are you feeling at Oxfam? What are you looking forward to the event tonight?
It's a nice bright sunny day with a cool breeze, so that's exactly what I expect from here. It's my first time here, and I heard a lot of things about this, and I just want to have a fulfilling conversations with people. I'm really looking forward to meeting people and having interesting conversations with them and being part of this festive atmosphere.
What do you think about the unstereotyped cinema that is just the tag that is given to Oxfam-MAMI?
I think it's very important for people to take that initiative to break stereotypes because there's trendsetters are really important in the creative fields because somebody sets a trend and then people follow it, and sometimes they even better that trend, and sometimes they just squeeze the life out of it. But in life you need trendsetters, and I'm really glad that this initiative is being taken here, and it's sort of applauding and supporting trendsetters.
How do you feel? Your movie was the opening movie of Mami. How was this? What was the experience there?
I feel like a superstar right now. For 15 minutes at least, and then I'll be back on the ground. Please let me fly for 15 minutes.
Alright, thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Women in Film Brunch, third edition. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I think both of us very happy that Mami's been able to collaborate with Oxfam now for 3 years. It's one of the things that we look forward to because we have a room full of people who make interesting and really progressive content, and women are at the focus of it. So for us, it's a particularly proud moment.
So, what do you think is the importance of recognizing films that break gender stereotypes and challenge patriarchy?
Well, I just hope that recognizing these films and giving them an award will encourage other people and also sort of sensitize audiences to okay, wow, this film did it differently, and maybe we don't always see that. We're bombarded by so many images. So when you single out a film for having done this specific thing nicely, I think it just helps to change the conversation.
So my question is to you, how do you feel about hosting Oxfam for the third time this year, and how do you feel about getting all the mindsets together, like both of you all being part of it? Yeah?
So we are absolutely delighted and privileged to be collaborating with Mami, and I do think that the gender justice movement globally and in India is reaching a tipping point, and in that tipping point I think Bollywood can play a very critical role. It's really about setting the narrative, and I think this brunch is all about talking about that narrative. So we're delighted to be here and partnering with all of you.
So, one last question: in the ideal world of women in cinema, what are some of the stereotypes that you would like to break away from?
There are too many. How long do we have? The suffering mother, the suffering wife, I just think I'd like to see women who are complicated and maybe women who are messy. They don't have to be a certain way. They don't necessarily also have to have the burden of being good. I think the onus of morality does not have to be on female characters always, I think those are some of the sort of more layered narratives I would like to see around women.
Would I like to add anything? I second everything she says. I mean, we all want to see more sort of well-bodied, flesh and blood women in films, and of course, as Anu said, we don't necessarily need them to all be good and all give the right messages, but we essentially need them to be interesting, complicated, layered characters and be written with as much agency and as much interest as we write male characters. That's
One last question. Last time there were 4 films that were nominated. This time we have 8 films. Double of what?
So that's exciting. It just shows that you have more films which are reflecting the ethos of gender justice. And I hope next time it's 16 and it just goes on.
Yeah.
And it's really, I think it's a reflection of the times, where very quickly you're seeing many more people becoming sensitive. And I would very strongly third what's been already said. It is also about, I think, breaking the stereotype and creating counter narratives.
My thoughts, I think we're going to celebrate some amazing women in real life, and I am very happy to be a part of this entire thing. My film premieres at MAMI this year, so all the more happy. One more reason for me to celebrate.
The theme for this given Oxfam Award for Best Film for Gender Equality and Unstereotyped Cinema is the theme for Oxfam Award for Best Film for Gender Equality. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Unstereotyped cinema.
I love the way cinema in general in India is the way it's evolving. There are a lot of experiments, a lot of amazing stories that are being told. And yes, my thoughts are very positive. I think we are heading in a very interesting direction, and I am very happy to be a part of unstereotyped cinema myself as well.
One last question for you. The ideal world for women in cinema, what are some of the stereotypes that you would like to break away from?
Well, as an actress, I wouldn't want to do only leading lady parts. I am hungry for out of the box. Something different, and I think that's being valued, and I like that space.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Oxfam-MAMI.
Thank you.
This year the theme for the Oxfam Award is being given out is called Unstereotyped Cinema. Unstereotyped Cinema, you've been very vocal about it. So what are your thoughts this year?
I think I've been doing unstereotyped cinema for a long time now, and I think our audiences are changing, which is a very positive thing, and the so-called unstereotyped cinema is gaining more popularity, and I think we are having films with all kinds of subjects, different kind of storytelling. People are traveling, mixing things, and I have just finished filming my directorial debut, and I made the film in English, Hindi and Italian, and I shot it in Rome. So I think 10 years back, it would have been unimaginable for me to even think about a film like this. So I think unstereotyping filmmaking is really, really gaining the momentum, and I love platforms like this. I love supports like this, and we have to continue this voice, because cinema is really a very important tool of popular culture, and we can change a lot of the thinking in youngsters through pop culture.
So theme for the brunch is women in film.
Yes.
So and we have so many wonderful women who are out cinema for such a long time. What are your thoughts?
I think the day we stop thinking, okay, men and women in filming is where we will say that yes, I would have really serious thoughts on it. We still have to underline the fact that women in film, and I think there would be a day where we will not think gender at all. It will just be films and filmmakers, and I'm still looking forward to that day. Thanks.
The topic as a theme for this particular year is unstereotyped cinema, and you've been quite vocal about it. So what are your thoughts this year on the Oxfam Award for unstereotyped cinema?
Sorry.
Unstereotyping cinema is the theme for this year's
Right.
award. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, there's no thoughts. It's time to unstereotyping cinema. It's nice to have a slightly more eclectic bunch of films, and I mean, I don't need to say it, but I've always fought against stereotype, at least in my case, and even with whatever minimal body of work I've done, you tend to get stereotyped, in some way or the other. And the point is to be able to break that. The point is to be able to look at new stories, look at people differently, look at the world differently. And as it's getting smaller, at least festivals bring you a point of view, a culture from various parts of the world, and it's exciting.
My next question is, in the ideal world for women in cinema, what are some of the stereotypes that you would like to break away from?
What are stereotypes?
That you would like to break away from?
I think that there's a fear that women's stories don't sell. I think that's the biggest stereotype in at least our industry, and I think that's world over. And I think that's the biggest break, because once you break away from that and you realize that women make half the planet and half the audience, and we need to tell their stories as well, I think that in itself will start changing the narrative. Yeah.
So this time for the Oxfam Best Film Gender Equality Award, we've got 9 films that were nominated last year. It was 8 films last year, it was just 4.
Yeah.
So what do you think this change has brought into we've got double of films this time?
I mean, I just think there are more filmmakers. I think there are more filmmakers. I mean, firstly, there are more women making films, whether it's producing or directing. There are more screens, more platforms, so various kinds of content is required suddenly. So there are diverse views and diverse people making films. So that is going to definitely grow in various genres. It's going to grow. Thank you.